I'm at Wilson James' London office in Fleet Street with Peter McGowan, Learning and Development Manager. Peter, what's the basic remit of your role here?
One of my key areas is to really make sure that we do have a talent and succession planning for our managers going forward within the business, and that really entails looking at our sort of duty security managers and making sure that we've got the people ready for the future to step onto any vacant roles that appear, and also any new contracts that we've got. So that's one of the main focuses that we have within Wilson James.
Now, we discussed today the concepts of added value. What does that mean to you, and what does it mean to the company and also the client?
Added value is particularly key within Wilson James. When we look at added value, there's three key areas that we look, certainly from a learning and development perspective. The three key areas are: one, is learning and development going to enhance or benefit the client? Is it going to enhance and benefit Wilson James as a customer, as a business? And then thirdly, is it actually going to benefit the individual that's going to undertake that particular learning and development program? If it meets all that three criteria, then it will add value to each person involved in that sort of cycle going forward in respect of training.
You started in your role, Peter, around 2 years ago now. What's your basic impression of the security sector per se in that time?
I'll be honest with you, when I first joined the security sector, it was a very narrow-minded view of just an officer stood on a door, to be honest. But coming to Wilson James, my image has changed dramatically, certainly with some of the clients that we have, some of the sort of sites and some of the places where we work. And the security sector is a real industry that we believe within Wilson James, that when people join us as a security officer or wherever, in what stage of the business, there is a real career path for them to follow, tied very closely in line with the career path from the learning and development side of things.
And traditionally, Peter, you may have come across this in security and in this industry in general. When times are hard financially, training is often the area that will look to be cut in terms of the client trying to bartering down on price. How do you ameliorate that situation as the provider?
I think with the current climate, training will always be hit, but I've got to say Wilson James has certainly booked that trend, whereas we've actually raised the number of number of training days and number of training hours we've actually had year on year. So although the money spend has been roughly the same, actually the number of days we've delivered training and have people involved in training has actually increased.
One of the things we've discussed today as well, Peter, is looking at the whole IT angle towards training. And obviously you come from that background prior to the security sector. And alongside the passport, you're using iPads and technology such as that. Why are you going down this route? No other company that I know of is actually using this sort of equipment.
I think the big ethos that we have within Wilson James is all about sort of new ways of working, new ways of thinking, and with the current IT sort of like elements that are out there, from your iPads to your iPhones to all of the different sort of media things like Facebook and all the rest of it. I think we just need to make sure that we are ahead of the game. With the iPads, it was basically an idea that's driven from sort of the board of directors to make sure that we are leading sort of technology-wise, and in a training environment certainly we can use all of those iPads to make sure we get the best benefit of what there is out there.
And you're sitting immediately in front of Wilson James' vision statement, Peter. What's your vision, say, for training at the company and across the sector in, say, the next 12 months?
I think that the next 12 months it really has to be about business as usual. There's a lot of things that are happening certainly in the London area, and certainly across the whole of the UK, with the Olympics coming up and various other sort of Paralympics as well. I think it's business as usual, deliver the best service we possibly can do to the client, really drive that added value to make sure that people see what added value really is all about, and just to really sort of drive that talent management, succession planning forward to ensure that we have the best people within the business that basically benefits the client.
That's excellent. Thank you very much, Peter.